When the lights dimmed and the stage fell silent, no one expected history to unfold before their eyes. The crowd had gathered for another talent showcase, anticipating decent performances and polite applause. But the moment a young Filipino boy stepped into the spotlight, dressed in a sleek white jumpsuit inspired by Elvis Presley, the atmosphere shifted. His hair was styled in a classic pompadour, his posture confident yet humble, and his eyes carried the quiet determination of someone who had studied not just the music, but the soul of the king of rock and roll. From the very first guitar chord, it was clear this was not a simple imitation. It was a revival. As he opened his mouth and released the first note, the audience felt chills run down their spines. The tone was rich, controlled, and astonishingly mature for someone so young. In that instant, whispers spread across the auditorium. Could this Filipino youngster truly channel the spirit of Elvis? As the performance continued, the boy didn't merely sing. He embodied the essence of rock and roll. His movements were deliberate, paying homage to Elvis's legendary hip sways and charismatic stage presence, yet infused with his own youthful energy. Every lyric carried emotion. Every gesture felt authentic. The band behind him seemed energized by his confidence, amplifying the electric atmosphere that now consumed the venue. Audience members, who had grown up listening to Elvis, found themselves transported back to the golden era of rock. Younger viewers, many of whom had only heard the name in passing, suddenly understood why Elvis had once been called the king. The Filipino performer wasn't copying history. He was reintroducing it to a new generation. Phones lit up as people began recording, knowing they were witnessing something unforgettable. Midway through the song, the boy hit a powerful high note that echoed through the hall, causing the crowd to erupt in spontaneous applause. It wasn't just technical skill that impressed them, it was the passion. His voice carried stories of struggle, dreams, and perseverance. Coming from humble beginnings, he had grown up listening to old vinyl records and online clips of Elvis, practicing relentlessly in front of mirrors, perfecting every detail from vocal runs to subtle expressions. His family had supported his dream, even when resources were scarce. In that defining moment on stage, their sacrifices seemed to transform into pure triumph. The performance became more than entertainment. It became a symbol of hope. It proved that talent knows no boundaries of nationality or age. By the time he reached the final chorus, the audience was already on its feet. The judges, initially skeptical, watched in stunned admiration. The young singer closed the song with a dramatic flourish, dropping to one knee in a classic Elvis-inspired pose. For a heartbeat, there was silence, as if the room needed a second to process what had just happened. Then came the roar. Applause thundered through the venue, louder than anyone had heard that night. Some spectators wiped away tears, moved by the emotional power of the performance. Others shouted, "Long live the king." It was as though the legacy of Elvis had momentarily been reborn on that stage, carried forward by a boy from the Philippines with a dream larger than life. The impact of that night extended far beyond the auditorium. Videos of the performance quickly spread across social media platforms, amassing millions of views within days. Viewers from around the world commented in awe, praising not only his vocal ability, but also his authenticity and respect for musical history. Interviews followed, and the young star humbly credited Elvis as his greatest inspiration while expressing his desire to create his own path in the music industry. He emphasized that honoring the king meant understanding the hard work and discipline behind the glamour. The Filipino youngster became a symbol of cultural connection, proof that music transcends borders and unites people across continents. His journey inspired countless aspiring performers to embrace classic influences while daring to innovate. In the weeks that followed, the boy's life transformed dramatically. Invitations poured in for television appearances, concerts, and collaborations. Yet amid the growing fame, he remained grounded, remembering the small living room where he first sang along to Elvis tracks. He spoke about his dreams not just of stardom, but of inspiring others to chase their passions regardless of circumstances. To many, he wasn't just an Elvis tribute artist. He was the embodiment of resilience, dedication, and youthful courage. The world may have once crowned Elvis Presley as the king of rock and roll, but on that unforgettable night, a Filipino youngster proved that the crown could shine again in new hands. And as he continues his musical journey, audiences everywhere watch with anticipation, wondering just how far this new king will rise.